Hello indie game fans, the Steam Next Festival is a great place to discover new games, so here are a couple of interest, beginning with Akimbot, a 3D action-adventure platformer in which you blast through armies of robots and pilot your own spaceship on an epic adventure to save the universe. Everything in this game is a robot, so it's an interesting sci-fi world with a good look and action and is one to try. I'm a sucker for tactical roguelites, and the next game of interest is Necroking, one in which you play as a master of necromancy, raising minions and other creatures in order to attack settlements that are just full of life. I love the minimalist pixel art look, which is very well done, with the different zones that you can place your units in looking interesting strategically and will be out later this year.
To the architect, every idea starts with a single line.
This video is brought to you by Blueprints, one of the most interesting games that I have come across, being a drafting strategy puzzle game with a cool look. You are navigating the ever-changing corridors and rooms of a manor known as Mount Holly in search of the mythical Room 46. This is done through drafting each room from a pool of possible tiles, possibly showing its board game inspiration, in which the rooms that you draft and the tools within them will allow you to explore deeper into the house, but the layout resets at the end of the day, save for the permanent upgrades to your estate blueprint. As such, it's a very interesting roguelite title that is atypical and looks awesome, so do play the demo, which is part of the Steam Next Festival, but also note that it's a demo after all, so there are some limits on the content and how much you can play in the demo, which of course will not be there in the full game. Here's a sick-looking throwback action platformer named Shadow of the Ninja Reborn, which is a remake of a game from 1990 that was released on the NES, having the full high-bit pixel art remaster treatment, so of course I'm down for this. This is set in 2029 in a self-described vicious dystopian future, so I guess that could come true in 5 years' time, in which our two heroes must work together to save a nation. You are exploring a futuristic version of New York City, sent to eliminate the evil dictator Garuda, who has taken over the USA. So for some reason, ninjas were sent in, but plot details aside, the pixel art in this is on point and looks awesome, so whether you have played the original or not, this will be of interest. I last showed off Glyphica Typing Survival during my summer showcase, but wanted to give it another mention here since this is a Vampire Survivors style roguelite title, but with the twist being that it's a typing game instead, possibly being what Typing of the Dead was to House of the Dead, and has a cool minimalist look. It does also come to us from the ex-lead designer on Stellaris, so I'm sure this will be well made. Another game with somewhat of a celebrity game developer is Feed the Deep, an underwater exploration action roguelite in which you are diving into procedurally generated caves in search of resources, using these to purchase more upgrades to dive even deeper. There are, of course, predators and monsters lurking in the dark, so there are antagonistic forces as well, and comes to us from Luke Muscat, developer of Fruit Ninja and Jetpack Joyride, so this is worth a look, with his YouTube channel being a must-watch as well. I still don't know why, but it seems like Chinese game developers really love making games using the Chinese wuxia or cultivation theme at the expense of everything else, but a very neat looking entry is JIANGHU Chronicles, a clan simulator title in which you are leading your own martial arts clan, recruiting disciples and completing missions in order to improve your reputation, which is done through mixing action segments as well as a colony sim or base building element where you upgrade and expand your base. This feels similar to Amazing Cultivation Simulator and has potential, although I'm not exactly confident about the quality of English language translation based on the trailer, so give it a go to see how it is. A game that took an internet meme and made it into a game is CATO, answering the question, if buttered toast always falls butter side down and a cat always lands on its feet, what happens if you strap the two together? Well, it would endlessly rotate, which is the anti-gravity part of the equation, but also in which cat and toast can be separated in this game, which you can then use to your advantage to get past obstacles. It looks cute as heck as well, and while puzzle platformers are largely played out by now, this definitely has my attention. I'm excited to share this one since I stumbled upon Lost Castle 2 when looking at the Steam Next Fest page, with this being the sequel to a very popular roguelite beat-em up from 2016. The art style has been improved in this game and looks much more sleek, although the core gameplay loop looks familiar, of adventuring in dungeons, slaying monsters and getting resources, and when you die, use these for meta progression to increase stats, unlock items and characters, upgrade your equipment so that you can go even further. I'm a little surprised that it took this long to make the sequel, since 8 years is a long time, although they did work on DLC in between, but I suppose the original was well done enough for them to be comfortable so that they can make the sequel the best that it can be. Here's a neat looking roguelite deck builder that simply looks clean in Dice and Fold, being, at its core, a turn-based dungeon crawler where you're leading a party of heroes and attempting to beat the dungeon, drawing cards and rolling dice in order to do so. The shorthand pitch of this is solitaire with dice, in which your rolls will determine how much damage you do, and also has a choice of upgrades in between stages, Vampire Survivors style. So it's nice to see a deck builder that is not just a Slay the Spire clone, with this releasing very soon as well, so give the demo a shot. Here's an awesome game that I came across on Twitter a while ago, but I don't believe I have covered on the channel, and if you know anything about me, of course Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo is my jam, a top-down 2D Zelda-style action-adventure game that of course sees our protagonist wielding the titular yo-yo as a weapon, which is always an interesting choice. You're fighting the rival crime lords of the city in order to restore your own family's influence, where on top of combat, there is precision puzzle platforming, with the Steam store page having an example of a GIF of the character jumping over water and then using the yo-yo to hit 3 walls in order to get a key for a chest, looking very innovative and a must play. Watch this video for more 2D Zelda style games.